Welcome to Bed Crime Stories podcast. I'm your host, T. To my loyal bed crimers, hi, how are you? I hope you're having a great time. Don't get too stressed out about the holidays. It's supposed to be about family and love, and don't worry about all the other stuff. Dan Markel was a living, breathing human being with a brilliant mind and so much to live for. In 2014, his life and his face were shattered by hired thugs. The people responsible for Markel's death, which I base on those being convicted to life in prison for the crime, include the two thugs, Luis Rivera and Sigfredo Garcia, Garcia's baby mama, Catherine McBanoa, and Charlie Adelson, Markel's former brother-in-law. There is an undeniable link between Charlie and Catherine. She's his ex-girlfriend. And there's also a link between Catherine and Sigfredo Garcia. Recently, Charlie's mother, 73-year-old Donna Adelson, was arrested and charged as well in connection to the death of her former son-in-law, Dan Markel. In 2014, on the day that Dan lost his life, his ex-wife, Wendy, told the cops that her parents had been very upset with Dan Markel. As investigators pored over the Adelsons' emails and phone records, they discovered that Wendy's family tried to convince her to offer Dan $1 million for allowing his and Wendy's two sons to move permanently to South Florida. They also found out that Charlie Adelson had looked into hiring a thug to do in Dan Markel a full summer before Markel's death. By offering up $1 million, the Adelsons exposed their desperate desire for Wendy and the kids to escape Tallahassee, Florida, and to escape Dan Markel. Motive. The investigators also discovered that Catherine McBanoa deposited more than $56,000 in cash into her bank account between Dan Markel's death in July of 2014 and November of 2015. The checks given to Catherine McBanoa for a job that she supposedly had at the Adelsons' dental practice, a job that apparently never required her to show up in the office, all those checks were signed by Donna Adelson. Donna, a very strong and formidable figure in the family, most assuredly would not have been signing checks to McBanoa without knowing what the money was for. So, in my opinion, Donna had to have known about the $56,000 paid to Catherine, and likely she also knew about the $138,000 in cash that Charlie handed over to the two hired thugs. Dan Markel was accosted in his car in his garage at 11 a.m. Now, on that same day at 11:06 a.m., Donna tried to contact Charlie. He didn't answer. She tried a second time at 11:22 a.m. Charlie then called her back, and they spoke for 7 minutes. Charlie then immediately made 2 calls to Catherine McBanoa. Myriad phone calls between the Adelsons and Catherine McBanoa and Sigfredo Garcia, all within 90 minutes of Dan Markel being attacked, are noteworthy. Why were all these people talking right after Markel was harmed? It's highly suspicious. The Adelsons told investigators at Dan Markel's memorial service in Tallahassee that they would contact them to arrange for interviews. However, after the memorial, the Adelsons headed back to South Florida without talking to the investigators, and they never contacted the investigators afterward, nor did they ever call to inquire about the investigation into Dan's death. Note that only Donna, Harvey, and Wendy Adelson attended Dan Markel's memorial service. Charlie Adelson was not there, rather telling in retrospect. Now, on November 13th, a week after Charlie Adelson's conviction for Dan Markel's death, Donna and Harvey Adelson tried to skip town on one-way tickets to Vietnam, a non-extradition country. Investigators skedaddled to the airport to intercept Donna Adelson so that they could arrest and charge her. Donna, likely thinking about Charlie's conviction, twice mentioned wanting to unalive herself. Innocent people don't behave like Donna, Harvey, and Wendy, in my opinion. Donna, with her signature on the checks to Migbanawa, her attempt to flee the U.S., and her emails to Wendy, in which she incessantly tried to goad her into doing things to make Dan Markel so miserable that he would gladly sign over full custody of his son, appears to have been very much involved in the plot to do in Dan Markel. Allegedly, she has yet to be convicted of any crime. Time will tell if Donna Adelson's future will include a lifetime stay in prison. Until the next time on Bed Crime Stories. Hey, do me a favor, smash that like button. It's a busy time of the year and I'm still recording.